Hello, 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 magic makers. Welcome to my little corner of the World Wide Web. I am Reverend Jennifer Pomfrey, and today we are going to revisit a post that I just wrote recently on jinxes, hexes, curses, and your mindset. Because I really want to drive that home. That's really important. Like I said in my little vlog, your mind is the magic. Your mind is a powerful tool. And for those of you that don't follow me on Facebook, you're primarily on here. I'll read you my post. And then we can discuss a little bit further. Okay. So I'm on Facebook as the Healthy Happy Witch, if you'd like to follow me on there. But this is what I wrote on jinxes, hexes, and curses. Magic is a mindset. It all begins there from the moment you are in your root chakra development, early years of your life, until this very moment. Your mindset is the landscape or garden from which anything and everything seeded and tended to, in whatever way that may be, grows. But what grows? Well, it depends on how the garden was tended to and what got rooted in there to begin with. From this space is the seat of your soul magic. As witches, we have to accept that we will also be mindset magicians as well. Cerebral sorceresses, mental magi's, you get it. Your mind is a powerful tool, and with it you can literally create anything. You can create illness and even entities. I say all of this because hexes, curses, jinxes come to mind lately as I think of my personal journey and the various stories that have erupted about me along the way as I've grown stronger in myself, stood up for myself, and held people accountable in my life. As I walked away from several people this year, weird shit happened to them. And I was immediately blamed for hexing them or sending demons after them, which, like, why? I remember telling my husband, before I continue, I remember telling my husband when I heard about a certain person having something happen to them after being screwy with me, telling another person that I sent demons after them or something. And I was just like, yeah, you really think I want your name in a jar in my house? I don't even want you that close to me. So now, in my defense, I did get mad at this person. And I said, listen, you're about like 5 seconds away from me throwing your ass in a jar out of anger. Okay, so... But did I do it? Absolutely not. Because realistically, and I've been doing magic since I was 18 years old, like actually really learning it, trying to practice it, fucking up along the way as we all do. And I can still count at 35 years of age now, on one hand, how many times I've actually had to use like hardcore defensive magic. Because that's not my go-to. I do a lot of protection work, wards, things like that, protection. Spiritual security systems. I do spiritual maintenance. Like right now, as I'm doing this video, I'm doing my monthly ice water cleanse, which I can do a video on for the spiritual warfare section as well. I do stuff like that. It takes a lot for me to feel like I have to go in the defense route magically. Because if it's just something that I can cut you off for, or just we can solve it, let's do that. If I can just address it to you and you can take it without taking it personally and attacking me, let's do that. But I'm not going to waste my time throwing your name in a jar and keeping your name in a jar somewhere. Like, no, just not unless I absolutely have to. You've been warned. Just kidding. Okay, let's continue. Basically, they blamed me for sending demons after them. When really many of these people had and still have personal demons of their own with little to no interest in facing or taming them or healing them. So therefore, they created and manifested a lot of their own issues. And while this used to bother me, and not too long ago, I would internalize it and feel guilty and thought I did something wrong and everything is my fault, I realized that mindset was a part of my mindset and is still a part of my mindset I'm working on to heal, because it was creating a hex-like, curse-like effect on me where I would attract people in situations that constantly mimicked this energy where I would feel like I was to blame for everything because they would project or, just create some kind of scenario where I felt bad about being in my power and being confident. And so I would always feel like I had this heavy, dark energy around me that I just couldn't clean off of me. And really, it was my mindset. It will always be the mindset, because that is the seat of your magic. The definition of a jinx is a minor inconvenience or bad luck and irritation. The definition of a hex is a black magic spell or attack that causes harm or negative effects in someone's life. Now, a spell is word. It's just words, right? It's words that are charged with meaning and emotion and directed. Words carry vibration. Think of all the words that you have in your psyche, that you have heard from the people around you, that you took really seriously. That can create hexes on you, okay? And depending on how close you are to certain people and how serious you take the things they say, they could be smiling at you and then behind your back saying things about you, and then that can hit you, right? Because in your mind, you're not discerning enough. So that can hit you too. But if you're also feeling bad about yourself or you have weaknesses that you're not working on, those words can hit you too. Does that make sense? The definition of a curse is a form of punishment cast upon someone to affect his or her person, but also the life of people around them. So that's more long term. All of these border on the same definition. The only difference is the length of time in which they last. A jinx is short term. A hex is a little more lengthy, whereas a curse can go on for years, generations even. Stay with me. I'm not going to teach you how to do hexes, jinxes, and curses. That could be a different post. I don't know if I necessarily want to put that out there. Because again, that's not like my go-to for things. It has to be, you have to go through a process to see if that's something you actually have to do. You shouldn't just get pissed off at somebody and be like, I'm going to throw your ass in a jar. Like, no. There's protocol. Okay. So again, that being said, I know how to do these things, but I'm not necessarily going to put it out there. I don't think it's something I'm going to put out there as like a freebie, because I just don't feel comfortable with it. Not knocking people on here who teach things like that. Actually, if you want to learn the ins and outs, the history, like the intricacies of things like that, go to White Raven and Witch's Lair on YouTube. She's amazing. She has like hundreds of different kinds of spell work videos, and she's a reliable source. She's amazing. And I will actually link her here. Because again, I'm not against people teaching that if they are a reliable source, and she definitely is. And she teaches it ethically. She reminds you to make sure that, you're doing this with the proper reasoning. Like, don't just be like, oh, I'm mad at this person, so I'm just going to do this. Like, no, there has to be a legit reason. It'd be the same thing as if, like, you're being harassed in your regular life, right? Like, what are the steps you need to take to take care of that, right? You're not just going to go straight up and hit somebody in the face when this could be solved with a conversation, or just having better boundaries or whatever, right? So keep that all in mind. Go to her channel. She is superb. So again, that could be a different post. I'm not sure. Again, I don't know if I feel comfortable with it. But I'm here to show you how you already do this and how holistically as well as metaphysically this follows you if you don't work on yourself. Okay? So think of a jinx as just like a bad day or being in bad energy. You come home, you feel off, you need a cleanse. Do the cleanse, take off your clothes, take a shower, say some cleansing prayers, empowering prayers, cleanse and recharge yourself, your home. Do something nice for yourself that resets and grounds your energy. Think of a hex as spending way too much time in the company of those who don't support you. You know they don't, but you don't want to listen to your intuition, so you keep feeling like crud and nothing ever gets done the way you want it to. The blockbuster is admitting that maybe you're not in good company and you need to kind of bow out and just remove that hex-like energy, and also be aware of the mindset that you keep that keeps people like that in your company. Okay? Think of a curse as patterns, habits, and beliefs that you have adopted from family that are not authentically yours, and how they leak into your personal choices, relationships, and more. Where you keep meeting up with the same types of situations, people, and circumstances that keep sabotaging and draining you. This is due to deeply seated beliefs that you have not cleared and transmuted out of your system. It is all a mindset. Work on the mindset and your personal energy from root to crown, crown to root, and your magic, both light and dark, will be clean and potent. Okay? So it's all mindset. It really, really is. It's kind of like how I spoke on evil eye being the state of your own eyes. If you're not seeing the world through a clear lens, and you're constantly seeing through negativity and anger and just finding reasons to be defensive all the time, you're going to find reasons to be defensive all the time. You're going to attract yourself to it, and you're going to attract it to you. And you're going to create illness and dis-ease and all of these things. And then you're going to claim it's someone cursing you, when really it's one of two things or both. It's either just you cursing you because you're not working on yourself, or two, it's you being in the wrong energy and knowing you're in the wrong energy, but keeping that energy because of a poor mindset, self-esteem issues, things like that. And they work against each other. They work against you. So at the end of the day, you have to consistently work on your mindset. Be willing and humble enough to look at the light and dark of your mind, the motives behind the things you do, the things you're avoiding and why, and see how this could be hexing, jinxing, or cursing your life. And when you can be honest with yourself, that honesty is literally the ultimate spiritual warfare tool. When you can be honest with yourself, no one and nothing can manipulate you. No one and nothing can infiltrate you. No one and nothing can possess you, because you possess truth and honesty. So you know yourself enough, light and shadow, good and bad, mistakes and virtues, well enough to not be taken out of yourself. Okay? So it's not always, oh, somebody jinxed me, somebody cursed me. If your mind is strong, it'll be harder to be jinxed, hexed, and cursed. Okay? Curses are a little bit harder to break because a lot of times they're generational, but it's not impossible. Okay? So sometimes these, I call them it's easy to say generational curses. They're habits, they're patterns, rituals, routines. Okay? If you, let's say right now, are a stress eater, right? That has been something you have done every time you have gotten stressed, every time you have been upset, every time you've been disappointed, rejected, yada, yada. You go and eat all the shit food. Stop for a second and think, where did I learn this from? Because you clearly learned it from somewhere. Okay? It was either you watched somebody like in your family not be as emotionally receptive to you, or not be able to handle crisis very well, so therefore they couldn't be there for you, and so you relied on food to be a comfort because you didn't have comfort. Okay, you learned it somewhere. Okay, because if it contributes to you feeling like crap, it becomes almost like a curse, right? It's a consistent pattern, habit of being that doesn't help you, and it creates more and more discomfort and dis-ease along the way, and a lot of times it's learned. These are generational habits that can be broken, because you also have generational blessings that you could be inheriting and receiving and reclaiming by also being honest about the shadowy shit too. Okay? So I hope this helps you. If you want to work more on this together, I'd be more than happy to help you do so. I'm available today at the time of this video, which is Thursday the 13th of November. I'll be available till 7 o'clock tonight. I will be available tomorrow as well, Friday the 14th of November, from about 12, because I have a session in the evening. I'll be free from 12 to 4 tomorrow. But I'm available Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 12 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I can do virtual, I can do in person. If you're within the local area, I can come to you if need be. We can do email readings. I do email readings if you prefer to have something to read. We can find a way. So where there's a will, there's a way. And if you need help, I'm willing to help you if you're willing to meet me halfway. So take care. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.